we're gonna have to go even further back than the city-state. Because there's a new idea that's just jumped to mind, and it would be to use a chessboard to create an elaborate game that, a computer could follow along with. And that's where we're at now. So, instead of having the city-state, we're gonna go back even further. Jump cut. I don't really remember what I said. The migration of tribes into city-states and the evolution of those city-states into modern republics. Okay, so we're gonna go a different direction. We're gonna try using a chessboard to we're gonna piggyback off a chessboard and the chess set of pieces to, in a very, very abstract sense, represent human history. Yesterday I was talking about the simulator that would do it all, that you just add more and more and more data to. Going to a chessboard is not exactly the same idea. Now we're going to be restrained, kind of. But you can represent a lot of stuff. There's a lot of abstract ideas you could represent with a chessboard and the chess set. And that's what we're going to do now, instead of the Living Book Project. It's sort of going to merge together, in a sense. Alright, so what are the tribes? Those are the this is going to be an idea, and that's going to be represented by a pawn piece. And let's see. So at the beginning of the game, there will be a few pieces on the board, 4 pawns. They're going to be placed on the corner of the board. The 4 corners of the world, so to speak. Hold on. Like so. They would be at the 4 corners. And taking a look at this picture, I'll have a video of how you actually play the rules that I've come up with so far. But at the beginning of the game, you would have the 4 corners of the world occupied by the tribes. Then the tribes would be able to move around. I'm thinking the migration period would last for 3 turns. You could stay in your spot or move to another spot. I'll have a video showing how that works. I'll play out the actual game eventually. So what you would do is 3 turns later, you would turn into a castle. The castle being the capital of your city-state, so to speak. So you would be able to move around, you would be a migratory tribe for a while, and then you would turn into, let's see. It'd be something like this. If you're if you're one of these moving tribes, you would be able to move 1 space a turn, or just stay where you are, and then, let's see. So every turn you would get a point towards being a city-state, and then eventually you would turn into a city-state and stop being a migration tribe. Alright, so that's rule number 1 so far. Another rule would be the city-state So the city-states, they grow, they're growing. What do you do with that? Oh, that looks so weird. Anyway. There we go. Okay, so the city-states, they allow you to add in more pieces to the game, like pawns. Let's see. All right. When you have a castle unit down on the board, every turn you would get one spawn point, up to 3 spawn points, depending on how many pawns you control. And I've already thought of a use. Like, okay, so far you can only create 3 pawns minimum. That's what I've come up with so far. Because there's 16 pawns in the game. And I figured every team, there's 4 teams, would get 3 pawns each, leaving, 4 extra pawns on the table. And if you capture the other pawns, okay, well, I gotta write down the rules. Okay, so. Okay, so. I repeat that phrase way too often. Anyway. For the military unit, that would be represented by the horse, the knight. And for the cultural unit, I'm going to represent that with the bishop, because religious, the culture unit is for conversion. And instead of just having religion be the thing, I'm just going to have societies convert each other's cultures. All right. Okay. As the populations grow larger, this specialization occurs in the military and the culture. The military's destructive capabilities both, protect and dominate other cultures, while the culture of nations flips others onto their side. So warfare in this game is going to use the horse, the knight. The knight will stand and command the pawns in a 9 square radius around the object.